Does a two-quarterback system work? I'm going to tell you coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pulaski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today, I want to talk to you about using a two-quarterback system. I'm going to talk about from personal experience. I'm going to talk about the way it looks throughout the game, both the college level, the NFL level, and talk about why I personally think it's a bad idea. There's an old saying that if you have two, you don't have one. And so we're going to talk about that in just a second. But first, if you're new to the channel, if you love football content, X's and O's, make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell. Get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to talk about the quarterback position. We're going to talk some psychology today. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to talk about psychology of a quarterback. And leave me a comment down below. Love to hear from you, your thoughts on the two-quarterback system. If you're a coach that's run it before, if you're a player that's been in it before, I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on it. Also, please remember, share this video out. We're trying to help as many young athletes as we can. And so the more you share this out, the more young athletes we can help, and we appreciate it. First, let me tell you from a personal experience as a quarterback playing the position. The position of quarterback is unique in sport. You have to be able to perform physically, mentally, and emotionally all equally well. You have to be able to process at full speed mentally what you're seeing, make decisions based on that, react, make accurate throws. You have to read what defenses are trying to do to you and react to that. You have to emotionally be stable enough to understand your team, where you are in the game, to be in the flow, to have that chemistry with your teammates. And then physically, obviously, you have to have the tools to play the position. And so as a quarterback, if you are in a two-quarterback system, if coaches are switching quarterbacks back and forth, then it's going to make it hard to stay in the rhythm of the game, to do all those things that you need to do mentally and emotionally, not so much physically, because physically all quarterbacks who have earned the spot have the ability to play it. But mentally and emotionally, it's hard to stay in the rhythm of a game. You think about it as a backup quarterback, if you come into the game and you haven't been playing, it's really hard to get up to game speed in a hurry, to get into that rhythm, to get into that flow. I've done it as a backup. I just couldn't imagine switching in, switching out in a two-quarterback system. The reason I talk about this is I watched that bowl game with Oregon and Iowa State. Now, both Anthony Brown and Tyler Shuck are competent quarterbacks. Both those guys, I think, could be pretty good in that Oregon system. But playing them both in a two-quarterback system, I think, makes them lesser as quarterbacks. Here's the reason why. Every quarterback is competitive, period. If you are not competitive, you are not playing quarterback in college. You are not a guy who takes that spot and becomes the starter. That's just the way it works. It's the one thing that I find in every quarterback that I've coached, every quarterback that I've known, they are ultra competitive. So when you are running a platoon system with quarterbacks back and forth, two different guys, they are always competing. Now, you might say, hey, competition's a great thing. Well, at that quarterback position, that makes you press. If you want to make a young student, let's say, perform worse on a test, tell him that there's something at stake. Make him anxious. Make him press. And watch how his score suffers. It's the same thing for a quarterback. If you make them press, if you always have them looking over their shoulder, they are going to play worse. Their decision-making is going to be worse. Their anxiety level is going to be up, rather than being able to play at the flow in the chemistry of the moment on the field. That's number one. Quarterbacks are competitive. You're going to take that competitive nature and you're going to turn it into an anxious moment. I think that's a mistake for quarterbacks. Two, when you are playing the position in game, you've studied film going in, so you know what to expect. But as you play on the field, you're learning. You're absorbing what the other team is doing to you. You understand what they're trying to do on defense. You understand what kind of coverages they're doing. You're seeing their alignments. You're watching their disguises. You're getting all that information under center from the spot that you learn it best. Not watching it from a sideline, not trying to pick it up just by observing, but you're doing it. Most quarterbacks are also physical learners. They learn well through reps. They learn well through experience. And so if you're watching it from the sideline instead of in the game, and you're already pressing and you're already anxious, and you come in the game, you haven't had those reps in game to make it happen. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done. It can. Teams have done it and other coaches have done it. I just don't think it's the best experience for a quarterback. It's the best way for a quarterback to improve in game. I always question when coaches start going with the quarterback platoon. I think the wildcat, I think a changeup, I think something that you do with the offense to give the defense extra reps that they have to take in practice is a good thing. I don't mind the wildcat. I wouldn't run it personally as a quarterback coach because I just don't, I've never seen it be super effective. But to use it as a tool to make the other defense take extra snaps in practice and take practice time away from what you're doing, I think that's fine. Just like defenses used to run just enough of the 46 or that bear defense so that offenses had to practice a bear package during the week. It takes time away from your preparation. Putting the wildcat in for just that purpose, I think, is fine. But using it consistently, taking your quarterback out of the rhythm, taking him off the field is tough. I also think it's unfair to the team. And here's why. No matter what team environment you're in, everybody can talk about it's all for the team. We're all pulling on the rope. We're all, one team, one unit. But just by the nature of human beings, guys are going to choose a side. You're going to get factions within a team. One side will back one quarterback. One side will back the other. And as a result, they'll be pulling for that guy. So you're creating tribalism within your team by using this two quarterback system. Now, they may not openly want the other guy to fail, but they want their guy to succeed. And when you do that, you're creating factions. And factions on an offense, on a football team, are not good. You want your team all to be supporting the guy, the one quarterback. You want them all in line, doing the right thing, so that you can have that chemistry that you need to win in football. I tell people all the time, X and O's are great, and coaches who want to do the perfect X's and O's are awesome. But chemistry is just as important. And when you are creating a dividing line and putting your team on one side or the other of that dividing line and creating factions, you're not helping your team improve. You're not helping your team build that chemistry. And so having a two quarterback system creates bad chemistry on a team. It also diminishes your quarterback's ability to lead. Here's why. One guy in the game all the time that's making plays, maybe not making plays, but he's in there, he's leading the huddle. Guys are looking to him. I told you that quarterback position is super unique. When linemen look to you, when receivers look to you, when running backs look to you to lead that team, they are looking for your confidence. They are looking for you to pick them up. They are looking for you to help them out, to show that ability to move a team, to lead a team. When you are pulling one guy out and he's no longer in that leadership role, you're taking away from his leadership ability. Putting another guy in, now you're making it hard on him. He's got to step in cold and try to lead a team. Even if you're switching back and forth, they're not in the rhythm. They haven't been in the huddle. They don't know what's going on out there. And so the ability to emotionally understand what's going on with your team, the ability to intellectually comprehend what's going on with your team, when you haven't been there to experience it, it's like not being part of a conversation and then being asked to give your opinion on that or to change something to improve that relationship. It's really tough to do as a quarterback if you haven't been there in the moment to see what's going on to be able to lead that team. Finally, and the biggest proof that the two quarterback system doesn't work is they don't use it in the NFL. There's a reason NFL teams don't use the two quarterback system. It's for all the reasons that I just laid out to you. You don't want to create factions. You don't want to take away from your quarterback's confidence. You don't want to make your trigger man press. You don't want to break chemistry on your team, and you don't want to get a guy out of rhythm. All those things are bad. And so if it worked, teams in the NFL would use it all the time. Yes, you see some wildcat stuff. Yes, you see some changeup stuff. But teams generally, if they have one, they stick with one and they go with it. Now, if your guy's not getting it done, by all means, use your backup quarterback. Give him a shot. And if you are blessed enough to have two guys that can play, great for you. But it doesn't, I think, do justice to your team. This is just my opinion. As a guy who's played the position, who understands what it's like in that huddle, who knows what rhythm you need to play the position, it doesn't do your team justice to try to play two. So pick a guy, go with that guy until you decide he's not that guy. And then go with your number two and give him a shot. But if you're going to platoon them back and forth, you're taking away from your team, from the rhythm, from the chemistry, all those things that your team needs. And I think if you find one and you find a way to coach him in the way that serves him best, that also serves your team best. It's just my opinion as a guy that played the position. Just thought I'd pass that along to you. If you like what I did here today, if you love quarterback content, X's and O's, football content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. That way you get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up right now if you agree that if you have two, you don't have one, because you need to have one guy at that spot to lead that team. Also, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've played in it, especially if you played a two-quarterback system, let me know what that was like. If you're a coach who uses it, let me know why you use it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And I'm all about giving guys playing times, making sure they see the field, giving them reps. But I'm not about a two-quarterback system. That's just not the way, for me, as a guy who played the position, that I think quarterbacks function best. Finally, please share this video out. Again, we're trying to help as many young athletes, as many young coaches as we can here at EliteAthletesTV.com. So the more you share us out, more lives we can affect in a positive way. Just wanted to talk about the quarterback position, maybe some football skills, the ability to lead a team, and what it's like to play quarterback at a competitive level and how you can play best when you're the guy. I'll talk to you later.